Alright, what's going on, y'all? So in today's video, we be making an attempt on this tube chassis Camaro. So let's show you all my knowledge I've gathered so far and see what times we could achieve with this car. 1 second, make sure we have no lag real quick. Alright, so let's do this real quick. Boom. We gonna hit this. Alright, let's go put the motor in, big block. We're gonna put like the max internals real quick, and then sometimes I will go down in the engine block to kind of bring down the torque, so I could add more nitrous or get a better hit off the line. So that's one thing. Sometimes I might change, but try to start with the highest just to see where we at, and then start to add things as we go. So now let's put a intake manifold on it. Let's go big block, billet intake. See what that look like. Oh my god. This is a turbo version. That's not what we want. Let's go open. Okay, yeah. So that. Carburetors. Can we adjust these any? Zoomies, alright. Can't adjust that. Alright, let's go. So let's do the trans now. See if we can make a pass. Alright, we're gonna leave it low stall. Put automatic on it. Alright, see what we got. I think the gears are too long. But we just need a baseline. Slowest pass ever. So 10 seconds in the eighth. Let's make some improvements real quick, and this is what it is basically, like going back and forth, changing, trying to improve, and then go back at it again. So we're gonna start off with a higher gear set since we're down on power. Six. We're not revving it that high, so let's leave that. We don't know what the chassis doing yet, so let's leave all of this right now. Let's reset this. Reset all of this. Quick. Apply that. And hopefully we should spin tires now. There we go. I don't think the automatic valve body is working. Let's adjust that real quick. Alright, so far we got an 8. Alright, what else we need to do? Let's do tunable. Can't trust the chassis. Oh, the drop down of the tire. Forget the crash bars tires. You gotta go to rear wheels. Go to drag. Here, look for drag wheel pack revolution. And it's close to the bottom. And then you should see it's, where is it at? Right here. Boom. Equip it. Once you equip it, you go and pick the size you want. Drop down. All of that don't matter until you got to rear tire. These are the specific tires he has for the classes, the different classes in the server. So you got the the Crash Boss, 29.5, 10.5, and then you got the Crash Boss Big Tire, the Crash Boss Gangster, 28, 10.5 Gangster, the Crash Boss 28, 10.5 Vanilla, and then the OTS 10.5, 28 Slick. So, and then you have this one, the Realistic Small Tire Early Stage. Alright, so that's all the where you find his tires when you join the server and you want to be a part of the racing. You got to make sure you're on the right tire depending on the class you're racing for. Alright, so that's where you find it. I want to check. Oh, I did adjustable. Alright, so let's take another pass. The motor might just be. Okay, that seems like it's coming up a little better. Okay. Every price so far we've been improving. Every pass so far we've been improving. Let's make the gears a little bit longer. See. First gear. I do like what first gear is at though. Second gear. Alright, matter of fact, let's do this. Let's do this. Alright, let's try that. See what happens. I'm not trying to make this video super long, but this is exactly what you got to go through though. Step by step. You got to adjust the car and just try to get it faster every pass. We haven't adjusted chassis or tuned the chassis yet. We've just been working with just trying to get the power delivery. Now we're moving a little bit. Alright, let's check the tire pressure real quick and see where we at with that. And then could adjust some suspension. Alright, so for me, I like to start off with a higher tire pressure. So this would be like my cushion to start. And then I'll work my way down. The timing is like, you could choose where you want to take timing out of the car to try to get it to hook better off the line. I'm gonna do a higher this real quick. Can we go 5? Nope, I'll do 4. Alright, so we got 376. We got the fuel in there. Alright, so let's see what that do. We raise the tire pressure. It should spin more. But we could also mess around with what gear we're launching in. So you gotta get a better 60 foot. I have a little bit of a hesitation. Like it's lagging, I'm not sure. Let's see. Second gear this time. Alright, we didn't spin much. Power is coming in. Alright, we got a 7.5 60 foot. Alright, so we're getting there, getting a little better. See if we could turn up the motor somewhere. Like, what's going on there? Let's go pure internals, or see if that gives us a little bit more power, or fixes the graph in such a way that we're better off. Alright, let's see. Okay, a little more. A little more wheel spin. Alright, now the power coming in. And the wheels are wobbling, okay. Let's I'm gonna try to see if we could fix that, or we might have to adjust the bar in the back. Try to fix that. Hold on. So let's try to stiffen this up and see what that do. That might just be a broken part of the mod or something. Hey, hold on. Is it me, or it just sounds low? Let's turn that up for y'all. Hopefully I wasn't robbing y'all of the sound. Alright, there we sound a little better. Alright, that was better. Alright, we're down to a 7.1. I still don't like how the tire is shaking. Maybe we mess around with the axle, try to fix that. But this is what you gotta do in the beginning stage, man. You gotta change things, try to figure out what could do to improve, or you're chasing an issue. You just gotta try to add different swaps to it, or different things to it. I think it's lagging. Hold on. Sure, we deleted it. Hold on, make sure. I think this is a new person, that's why. Let's delete that. Alright. See if it runs a little bit smoother. Now when you do that, it's not like you're just deleting the car for you. You're not deleting it for them. So you're not affecting anybody when you do that. So it's just a part when you're trying to tune and make things easier for yourself. You want a smooth experience. So you kind of got to do that sometimes. Alright, so let's mess around with so let's do this one. Small tire, adjustable 4 links. Axle. I haven't really experimented with the 4 links yet, like get to adjusting them and all of that yet. So still learning when it comes to that. See if we get. Alright, tire's not shaking that much on that one. Alright, still at 7.1. It wasn't shaking as violently as the other one was. So that I'm not revving this one crazy high. I still could adjust that a little bit, but we just trying to iron certain things out. Once I get the power to come in like smooth and crisp, we could start doing that. So let's try to adjust the chassis a little bit. Let's try to rev it a little higher though, because we're definitely not revving it nowhere. Let's try 62. Alright. 65. See what that looks like. Okay, we got a crossover there, so let's see. Alright, the power definitely coming in now. We blew off the tire on the like mid to top range, so we could start adjusting the timing a bit. But before we even do that, let's try to get the baseline set up on the chassis real quick. Let's go. Start at 8 for this. What is this? 10. See what happens there. Alright, let's try that. So what I'm trying to accomplish is some weight transfer to try to get the tire to hook a little better. Alright, probably could do a little bit more. A little bit more on the transfer. We still have a very tall gear in it, but short, very short. Let me see something real quick. So I'm just seeing what the front end is doing. Can we get a little bit more? Let's go front suspension. We do have a front bar in it. Wait, we don't have a rear bar? don't. Okay. Try to come down on the rebound in the front. Let's do half for now. Half for now. Let's do. Now remember, we still got the tire pressure high as possible. Let's bring it down to 4. Well, not the highest possible, but at a decent number. So we have a little room to grow when it comes to adding grip. Alright, front end coming up a little bit more. Alright, that's, yeah, 7-0 now. Not much spinning. Alright, so let's see what we could do with the go up in this gear a little bit. We could start adding some I don't know if I want to add some nitrous to the equation yet. We still got all of this front bar. Let's try to bring this down. See if we get a little more travel out of it. What's that? 15. See if that give us a little more transfer. The rebound definitely added some transfer, but let's see if we reduce the front bar. Could get somewhere. Better launch. Better 60 foot, I mean. Alright, we're moving along a little bit. Alright, so now we're starting to get a little squirmy up top. So I'm about to we could put a bigger gear in it, or let's see. Let's come down on the gearing a little bit. I'd like to be like 315, right about there, and work our way from there. Yeah, this is a long out of video. This is stopping at I'm not going that far. But this is what it's like, bro. You gotta, sometimes when you're starting a new car, you could put a setup that you already know and kind of work your way from there. But since I'm like, this is a chassis, I did some work on it before, so I know I want to be on nitrous, but I'm just slowly adding. I ain't mess with the converter, nothing crazy. I just slowly adding little tweaks here and there to try to get a little improvement. So now we're gonna put a little bit of nitrous on it, see if we could get it to hook and go. We're gonna use the atoms. We gonna do the stages. Oh, we could do the ramping. I wonder if we could put a bottle, bottle on it. I was about to say we could put the bottle in the trunk, put some more weight over the wheels, but let's put the bottle on. Let's not change anything. This just uses as where it's at. Alright, we at 6.6 now. You see the fully transferred now, the weight squatting crazy now. So we could either reduce that by adjusting some of the anti-roll bars, try to stiffen it up a bit, try to get less transfer. But let's try to see if we can get the nitrous to come in at a certain time and get like that transition better. Let's try to up the mile an hour too. You can see that transfer now, like the wheels are tucking into the chassis, just like that. You wanna, that's what you kind of want to aim for with the new no prep situations. Like you want as much grip as you could get going to the rear. All right, so let's try this. All right, 6.8. We spinning off the line a bit though, so I might either. I think I might. Let's go up to like 62 miles an hour. I kind of want to get the chassis like settled in, and then you see the spray start to come in. Alright, so we could go down a little more gearing. Alright, so let's do this quick. Let's see if we put it to 72. What does it look like up there? Let's see if you put it all the way out there, what happened? Oh, we tank. Alright, we just make a pass and see what that do. Alright, we definitely moving now. We'll see if we could roll in the nitrous a little earlier. Let's come down to like 46. Try that. Yeah, we at 6.5, full extension in the front. Definitely need to clamp that down a little bit. Oh damn. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so let's come back. Let's come back down on that extension. Let's do the travel a little bit. I think that should be it. What is that? What was that? 4 a while ago? 3. Let's do the nitrous is coming in, but let's see if we could get it to come in at a higher RPM. Let's see if we can get it to 45. The speed too. think after this pass, that's gonna conclude this video. Trial and error of tuning when it comes to these cars. And once you find a setup that works for you, it becomes easier, because you could just put that setup in and just like a baseline. Nah, we can't end it on that pass. Could do a little bit more on. Alright, so I already figured out. I went the highest I wanted to go. So let's come down to like 36. Let's do around 30, 42. And let's do we still got more tire in it left. So we could do, oh, we still have the timing. Could play around the timing a little bit. There's a lot more room in this car to grow. Let's come down on this a little bit. Come down. Come down on that. We got a lot more room to gear into. Alright, let's not change everything. Let's just leave it as where it's at. See where it's at, and then I want to end on a good pass. I don't want to end on like a mediocre one. We're gonna put all the travel we can and try to get the wheels off the ground. I think it's 4. It's better. Six, 8. We could do a little bit more. But this time I'm only messing with the gearing. Do I want to change this? Let's leave it for now and just put the gearing down. Oh, we still have the timing to adjust too. There's a lot more room to grow with this, man. Let's do the gearing for now. Where's the gearing? Alright, let's make this. Let's go. Who is that? Who's that? 315. 6. Let's go. 56. See how it leaves in second on that time. A little bit of spin. I think if we do like Slow it down a little bit. 3,000. Slow it the input down a little bit, and then we might need to go a little. I took too much out. Damn. Let's bring it up a tad bit. I want to end it on a good note, man. That's 2 clicks off. See if that works. Let's do this. So I think we could leave it at the amount of an hour it's at, and then we could just turn this up as a tad bit more from the stock location, and then should be able to do what I wanted to do. RPM. Might need to blast too. Maybe that converter need a little bit of shock to it. I think 6. Do that there. I think we could come in a little bit more faster. That's a 6.4, a 1.9 60 foot. That was better. Not totally what I'm looking for, but it's approaching 40 minutes. So we gonna end it there. Stay tuned for part 2.